lesson, we are finding the area of composite shapes. They're going to be made of triangles, circles, and trapezoids. The formulas that we need to know: for a triangle, the area is equal to 1/2 base times height. A circle, area is equal to pi r squared. The trapezoid is area is equal to 1/2 times the height times the quantity of base 1 plus base 2. So notice the directions tell us find the shaded areas. We're going to make sure we round our final answer to the nearest tenth. And when we see anything with pi, we're just going to use 3.14 because we do know that it goes on forever. So let's look at our first problem. I have Mark placed a pool in his yard, which is enclosed by a triangular fence. Yep, there's our fence right on the outside. The radius of the pool is 20.5 feet. How much of the backyard area is not covered by the pool? And I know that you could not see that last sentence, but again, the area not covered by the pool is our shaded area. So that radius of 20.5 feet is going to be important to us when we are finding the area of the circle. So let's start off by finding the area of the triangle. And I'm just going to go ahead. I always like to label what am I finding. And now, of course, I will write my formula. Area is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. And area is equal to 1/2. The base in the picture was 92. And the height is 84. So we know we're going to multiply those three numbers together. So when I multiply, when I take 1/2 of 92, I have a 46. And I'm going to multiply that times 84. And I know the area of the big triangular yard, yeah, it's a triangular yard, is going to be 3,864, and that is feet squared. So that is the area for our triangle. Now we need to find the area for the circle. And the area, I'm going to again label area of circle. Area, write the formula, pi r squared. So now remember, we use 3.14 and we have to put in our 20.5 for our radius, and we have to remember to square it. So of course we have to do the squaring first by order of operations. So I know that 20.5 squared is 420.25. And now I'll multiply those two numbers together, and I get 1,319.585. I'm not doing any rounding yet until I get to my final answer. So this is the area of the circle. Remember, we want the shaded area of the outside of the pool. So we just want the grassy area. So we know we have to take the big triangle, 3,864, and we will subtract away the area of the circle, 1,319.585. And when we do that subtraction problem, we get 2,544.415. And remember, it's feet squared, but now I'm going to round my answer to the nearest tenth. And since I see that there is a 1 in the hundredths place, my answer rounded to the nearest tenth is 2,544.4, and that is in feet squared. There is your answer of the shaded area for the first problem. Okay, I'm going to move this little guy over some so that we actually have room to do some work on the second problem. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a line so our work is separated. So with the second problem, we have a garden here and we have a tree, and we want to know how big is the garden, because needless to say, the tree is taking up some space. So I'm looking at that, and I actually have two circles. I have a big circle, which is the garden, and I have a small circle, which is the tree. And both of those formulas would be area is equal to pi r squared for both of them, because they're both circles. And in the end, I bet you know that we're going to have to do a little subtraction problem. So let's substitute our values. Area is equal to 3.14 for pi. Now the radius of the garden, I don't want you to think that it would be that 1 plus 3. It actually is just the 3. So it's going to be 3 squared. So our area is equal to 3.14 times 9, and this is of the big garden. And when I do that multiplication, I end up with 28.26. And remember, our answer will be in feet squared. And that's of the big one, the garden. Now we're going to have to subtract away the area of the little tree that's there. So area is equal to, I'm putting 3.14 for pi. The radius is 1, and I'm squaring it. And so now the area is equal to 3.14 times 1 squared, which is actually 1. So the area of the small tree is 3.14 feet squared. So as we're looking at this problem, all we have to do now is we have a little subtraction problem. And with that little subtraction problem, I end up getting 25 and 12 hundredths. But remember, we want to round our answer to the nearest tenth. So the answer is 25.1, and again, feet squared. And for the last problem that we have here, it's a trapezoid with a circle enclosed in it. And so we actually want to go ahead and we want to find the area of the trapezoid, and we will subtract away the area for the circle. So looking at the formula, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the trapezoid first. So area is equal to 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. And the area is equal to 1/2. The height is right here. I'm hoping that you can see the height is actually a 4. And inside my parentheses for my bases, I'm just going to put a bracket so we don't confuse it. It's 10 plus 15. So order of operations, I can go ahead and I'm going to add this. So it's 1/2 times 4 times 25. And we know that 1/2 of 4 is 2, and 2 times 25 is equal to 50. And that is inches squared. So this is just a little picture. It's not big like our backyards and everything that we've been doing. So now let's talk about the area for the circle. And it's small. It has a radius of 3 inches. So area is equal to pi r squared. Again, we're going to use 3.14, and it is 3 squared. Well, this is looking pretty familiar. I see that I actually have it worked out over here, but I'm going to go ahead and complete it. 3.14 times 9, and our area is equal to 28.26 feet squared. So again, that's for our, and it's not feet. I'm so happy I caught that. It's inches squared. Always double checking, looking back at the picture. So 50 minus 28 and 26 hundredths is going to go ahead and be 21 74/100. But remember, we're rounding it to the nearest tenth, so that would be 21.7, and that is inches squared. If this video was helpful to you today, please add a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more Math with Marcia. See you again soon.